Nice moves, Darren.
Oh, no. I got this.
Victory! Oh, hello and welcome to Spawn Point, the show for gamers by gamers. I'm Bajo.
I'm Rad.
I'm Goose.
And I am Darren.
And with school holidays coming to a close, we thought why not wrap it up in style with an epic gaming sleepover?
Yeah, we've got lots of snacks, including popcorn.
Oh, and most importantly, guys, multiplayer games.
Ooh, anyone up for a rematch?
Oh, maybe later, Darren. We need to get on with the show. And coming up, we have the multiplayer mayhem of Micro Machines World Series.
Plus, we'll share some of the latest mobile games we've been playing, Framed 2, Magikarp Jump, and Star Wars Puzzle Droids.
And I've got a story about a coding camp I went to recently with my parents.
The kids are actually using code, robotics, and other hardware systems in order to openly collaborate with their parents and their peers.
I must say, Dad-Rad is a bit of a coding whiz.
Oh, he'll be so chuffed to hear that coming from you, Darren.
Well, I think it's about time for some gaming trivia.
Oh, get ready to party, Spawnlings. It's time for Darren's Challenge. Today, I'm asking you this. In Skylanders, which element does Dr. Neocortex belong to? Answer at the end of the show.
Dr. Neocortex from Crash Bandicoot in Skylanders, it's...
All right, guys, grab your tablets and phones. It's time for our first review.
These days, there's a whole library of fun games to play on mobile devices.
Yeah, which is why we thought it was time to do a bit of a roundup of some of the games we've been playing on the go.
I never stop running endless laser simulations in my central cortex. You should see my top score.
Oh, nice one, Darren. Well, I love Star Wars games, so the latest one I found is called Puzzle Droids. It's basically Candy Crush with a Star Wars skin over the top. It's all about matching lots of different coloured things in order to complete objectives. Matching in certain patterns yields special blocks that can clear whole lanes or bomb an area, for example. And of course, combining two special blocks creates some satisfying super combo effects. It's all pretty standard match 3 kind of stuff, but I thought the developers did a good job of mixing in lots of Star Warsy elements into the gameplay. You'll go on a nice little jaunt trying to recover BB-8's memories. Along the way, cleaning up in Mars's cantina, blasting TIE fighters over the sands of Jakku, and competing against Chewbacca in a match of holo chess. Let the Wookiee win, right? It's still just matching things, but the Star Wars twist is great. What isn't great are the bugs. I encountered some weird graphical glitches, which sometimes made it impossible to even finish a level. And some of these levels are really, really tough. It's often just pure luck where the blocks drop in the right way to let you clear a stage. I often ended up stuck on a stage for days, which felt unfair.
It seems that the odds of successfully completing this memory are approximately 725 to 1.
I don't mind a bit of random chance, but it feels like it's a bit rigged to make you lose, and it's hard not to feel like this is a very intentional part of their free-to-play model. It's very, very stingy, handing out premium currency and power-ups just to lure you into spending real money on those microtransaction boosts.
I have a bad feeling about this.
But if you can deal with all of that, it's actually a pretty fun match 3 game. And I certainly like Star Wars more than I like candy, so I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
I love Star Wars, Bajo. I might have to give it a go. Guys, I went fishing around and found a new Pokemon title called Magikarp Jump, and it's all about everyone's favourite useless flopping fish. The game sees you catching and training your very own mindless Magikarp to compete in competitive jumping leagues. Yes, jumping, because that's pretty much all they can do. Between matches, you'll need to level up your fishy friend by tapping on food and increase their jump power by training them with a number of very unaquatic exercises, such as sparring against a sandbag. You can, of course, spend coins on upgrades, while also decorating your pond and attracting other Pokemon to cheer on your Carptastic champion during matches. It all sounds very silly, and that's because it kind of is. In fact, it feels less like a game and more like a joke at the expense of this long-time Pokemon punchline. Aside from swiping and tapping around the pond, your only interaction is simply hitting a single button to train, shop, and, well, jump. True to the Pokemon brand, it does look and sound great, and I guess I can see people enjoying decorating their ponds, attracting more Pokemon and collecting carp, but at the end of the day, without that fun gameplay or interesting interaction, it didn't take long till this started to smell a bit fishy, so I'm only giving it 1.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Sounds like a flop. What have you been playing, Rad?
Oh, let me tell you. The life of a detective isn't an easy one, kid. You gotta roll with the punches and take the dollars where they come. And if you're lucky, things will go swell. Until you get framed. 2. Frame 2 is the sequel to the successful Aussie-developed puzzle game, Framed. You move comic book-style panels around to change what happens, helping a briefcase-carrying silhouette escape. The simple direction of a ramp can mean the difference between success and failure. You'll be making all sorts of sly getaways just in the nick of time, all while a jazzy soundtrack fills your ears. It's such a delight how consistent they've kept the theme because film noir is so cool. And in the sequel, they've added some fun new puzzle types, like trying to figure out a pin code using the numbers presented in a scene. There's also some 2-character puzzles, which was a great evolution for the game. But there were also some puzzles I really didn't enjoy. Changing the direction your silhouette is moving was always confusing, and it felt like tedious trial and error. I didn't feel satisfied when I finally got the solution because it felt a little bit like luck, which is the opposite of what I want in a puzzle game. But overall, I thought this was a great sequel, and even though it was a little bit short, I had a whole heap of fun. I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Can I have a go?
Me next.
Oh wait, first I have something to show you guys. The Kids Code Create camp I went to recently.
Affirmative. Roll the tape, please.
I'm here at Kids Code Create, which is a hackathon where kids and their grown-ups can get together and learn how to make things using code, lights, and music. I've brought my own grown-ups, so let's go hack the mainframe. Let's go!
Yeah.
We're gonna have you guys now do your own story.
I'm here with Kelly from Code Club. Kelly, what is Kids Code Create?
Kids Code Create is Code Club Australia's first hackathon. As a part of Vivid Ideas, we created a hackathon all around light and sound. So the kids are actually using code, robotics, and other hardware systems in order to openly collaborate with their parents and their peers.
Are there any particular programs that you would suggest as like starter ones?
We start with Scratch at Code Club. We have 2 terms of Scratch. And what I love about Scratch is it's a visual block-based coding program that's free and open to everybody. And Makey are a hardware component. Go right into any computer via USB. And what it does is it teaches kids to think like an inventor. So this concept of invention literacy, teaching us to take something digital and make it actually do something in the physical world.
Hearing about using Scratch and Makey to invent things sounded awesome. So after the rad parentals and I picked out a meetup spot, you know, in case we got separated, we made a beeline for a lesson.
Today, we're going to do a little bit of a really cool sort of coding thing with carrots and potatoes, and I'm going to use the Play-Doh.
Vegetables were the last thing I expected to see in a class on coding, but with the Makey we could plug the vegetables into the computer. Talk about vegeta-cool! Then in Scratch, we could code the computer to play different sounds that we recorded when we touched different vegetables. So we were actually using the veggies as a controller. And Mama and Papa Rad used to tell me not to play with my vegetables. So what sound are we gonna do? I like that, I like it. That was the same sound Papa Rad made the last time I made him something with vegetables. Okay, so we've got the carrot of power. So when you're holding that carrot and you hit any of these vegetables, you get the sounds going. So Mum's gonna orchestrate.
Check it out.
After Mama Rad finished dropping some healthy beats, I decided that was enough screen time for my parents for one day. We wouldn't want them to get square eyes, would we? But can you code without a screen?
We get a lot of parents asking us questions about screen time. And to be honest, we think that the best thing is that kids have lots of different experiences. So right behind me, kids are using robots, paper, and pens to tell stories. They're using them to creative writing, project-based learning, and there are no screens involved.
So right now I'm using something called an Ozobot, which is this little guy here. Isn't he cute? I wonder if Darren looked like that when he was young. But I can draw these lines and use different colors to create different codes that when I put him on them, it does different things. Isn't that cool?
The Ozobot has lots of little sensors in the bottom, and it can read different colors. And so those colors represent a code that the robot then interprets and then does different things like zigzags or backwalks or turns left, turns right, or nitro boost. And so we get them to draw out those different codes and incorporate that into their story so that it kind of unfolds on the page in front of them.
Ozobots are so much fun and really easy to learn. At this rate, I might even be able to program D.A.R.R.E.N not to be such a noob. But you don't have to take this big kid's word for it. Let's hear what the rest of the kids thought of Kids Code Create.
What's your favorite thing about coding?
I like how creative you can be with it. I like that you don't have to do exactly, so you can like make it up as well.
It's just like infinite. There's infinite possibilities. You could like do anything.
What was your favorite thing that you did today?
I think I liked every single one because they all didn't really have any limits. I learned how to play like the drums with the potatoes and carrots, and I thought that was really cool. I love doing Scratch because I've done it before and it's really easy to do, and you can do heaps of stuff on it.
So you're used to it now, you're a Scratch pro.
I really love the Ozobots because you can just be so creative, make your own story.
They were fun because you could make your own little adventure. I like how you could do the colours for the codes.
I made a story of Robbie, the alien. He was the little guy and he wanted to go to Earth because it was colourful.
Do you like coding?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've made like, say 20 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in using Scratch.
Oh, wow. What kind of games?
Usually memory games or like normal arcade games.
It sounds like the Ozobots were a real favourite, but I think I loved it all. From learning how to code with a bag of veggies to making a story with my little Ozobot, I certainly learnt a lot. And Mama and Papa Rad did too. Oh, and did I mention, I got a certificate.
Here you go, Rad.
Oh, wow! A certificate of awesomeness! I'm a code master!
Where's our certificate?
Well, what an amazing day. It's so exciting to see what you can do with your imagination, some code, and a little bit of know-how. Well, that's Kids Code Create. How cool are robots?
Alright, Goose, it's been a little while since you manned the spawn point desk. Think you remember how it all works?
Oh, I think so, Bajo. Spawnlings give us some questions and we give them the answers, right?
That's the gist of it.
Alright, well, let's kick things off with this first question from D.A.R.R.E.N in Maryborough, Queensland. Hi, good game. I have some questions for you. 1. What is the best starting strategy for Astroneer? 2. What should I get? New parts for my gaming PC or a Xbox One? Now for an accusation. D.A.R.R.E.N must drink from the noob cup because he pronounced Gabriel from Minecraft Story incorrectly from one of the questions of an episode. It's pronounced Gabriel. He said it Gabriel.
Well, D.A.R.R.E.N, firstly, for those who might not have heard of Astroneer, it's a fun little space survival game that's still in development, but it is playable on Xbox One and PC.
And when starting out, your 3 main objectives should be to simply find resources, build out your base, and do some research. So, first things first, you need to find a deposit of compound, and usually you'll have a few nearby your starting area.
Make sure you don't venture too far from your pod at first, though. As soon as you've seen your oxygen tank about to empty below halfway, head back to the pod. But once you've found some compound, build yourself a solar array for your backpack to help produce energy and make mining easier.
Now that you have some compound, you should craft some tethers. These will let you expand your searchable area since they provide a constant stream of oxygen and power from your base. Now you need to get some resin.
You'll probably have already found some resin deposits earlier, so go back and mine them up. Now you can use that to build new nodes and structures on your base. We'd suggest first building a research center.
Now you want to start doing some research, so go out into the world and try to find artifacts, which you can study to unlock more buildings and items for you to craft. You'll often find them in caves and under weird plants and stuff.
From that point on, you should be pretty set. Just keep exploring and researching and building, and before you know it, you'll be taking off and exploring whole new planets.
As for question 2, whether you should upgrade your PC or get an Xbox, well, it depends. If you only need to upgrade 1 or 2 parts in your PC, then it's probably worth just doing that. But if you've got a pretty ancient PC that needs a full upgrade, well, that can be quite expensive, and you might get more gaming bang for your buck from an Xbox.
Upgrading is fun though, isn't it? Still, if your PC isn't that old and you still want to get a console, it might be worth considering a PS4 or a Switch. Not because the Xbox One isn't great or anything, it's just that if you already have a decent gaming PC that runs Windows 10, then you might be able to play some Xbox exclusive games on your PC. So if you get a Switch or a PS4, then you'll have access to a broader range of exclusive games. Just something to think about, just something in the mix.
Yeah, it's worth considering. And finally, while we totally agree that Darren should drink from the noob cup, we've just had to accept that he can't pronounce a lot of things correctly. Plus, he simply refuses to drink from it any time we bring it up.
Yeah, but I can kind of accept that. I mean, he's not necessarily wrong about any of the facts, so he's not really being a noob technically. He just has a peculiar way of speaking. And it's not polite to make fun of someone for how they speak, is it?
That's true, I guess. But we should move on, and this one seems like a good one because it's from the King of Zytopia in Geelong, Victoria. Geelong. Oh, I almost Darrened it up.
Yeah. Answer or I will send the Great Zytopian Army. This one is for Goose. 1. What is the difference between a PS4 and a PS4 Pro? 2. When might AFL Evolution drop its price? 3. Can you please review Don-Bradman? 4. What sport games would you recommend other than Formula 1 2015, Don-Bradman, Trackmania Turbo, FIFA 15, NBA 2K15, PS Goose is the best, PPS Bajo is cool, oh yeah, but not as cool as Goose. Hey, PPS, everyone do these. $10 bills!
Winky face. Well, Your Highness! The only real difference between a PS4 and PS4 Pro is power. The PS4 Pro has a bit over twice as much graphical grunt as the standard PS4, which makes certain games that support it look better.
Indeed, it's mostly designed for people with 4K TVs, since it can increase some games' resolutions. If you don't know what resolution is, it's basically how many individual pixels are on the screen. So the lower the resolution, the blockier and less detailed games can look, while high resolutions means you can see more detail, everything just looks a lot crisper.
But the Pro can also improve a game's frame rate per second. Now that's how often a game can output a single frame or image to a screen. Games ideally need to run at least 30 frames per second to feel smooth. Any less than that and they can start to feel stuttery and a bit slow.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Pro can help smooth that out, or even run games at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second. For games that don't officially support the Pro, the console has a boost mode option, which can help give unsupported games a bit of a bump to their performance.
As for when AFL Evolution will get a price cut, well, I don't know to be honest. I guess you'd be able to already pick up a discounted pre-owned version right now, but I'm sure it'll probably get a discount or go on sale before the year is out.
Yeah, and sorry to say, we probably won't have a chance to review Don-Bradman. It came out late last year while we were off air, and there's so many new games to look at, we might have missed the boat on that one.
As for sports games I'd recommend, personally I'm actually a fan of the NHL series. I don't really have an interest in hockey in real life, but in game form, it's so much fun.
You also seem to like cars and racing, so I'd suggest Dirt 4 as a great one. Rally games are super fun.
And why not combine your love for cars and team-based sports into one and get into Rocket League? It's easily one of the best sports games out there right now. But on that note, we should move on. And it looks like we've got a video question from the Bear King in Victoria. And it's an animation made using Scratch.
The Bear King? We should totally get Darren to do the voice for us.
Good idea.
Hello, Darren speaking.
Hi, Darren. We need you to do the voice for the Bear King. Are you ready?
Of course. Let me... I've got in the zone. Hello, I am the Bear King.
Perfect. Roll the tape, Goose.
Hello, I am the Bear King. I live in Victoria. I've got a question for you. Wait, what was it again? Oh yeah. What are some good free play games for the Wii U? If you do not answer, I will turn you two both into a bear and put you in the non-video gaming dungeon. Bajo, do these.
The tooth.
Bear King out. By the way, press the space button.
Oh, there he goes.
Thanks, Darren.
Oh, and thank you, Bear King. Great work there. To answer your questions, if by free play you mean free to play, sadly there aren't many free games on the Wii U. There are a couple like Disney Infinity and Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge that are free, but they do require you to either have bought some Amiibos or own the Disney Infinity toys and base, so technically they're not really free. You can still enjoy some gaming for free using one of my favorite methods, the game demo. You can actually get a surprising amount of fun out of the humble demo, giving you free chunks of gameplay from loads of games like Pikmin 3, Lego Marvel Avengers, Pokken Tournament, and Just Dance, to name a few.
Yeah, and demos of sports games like NBA 2K and FIFA are usually great too.
Yeah, I've had some of my fondest gaming memories with those delightfully free slices of gaming goodness. But on that note, we're out of time for this week, so if you'd like to ask us something or send in a video or a cool animation like the Bear King, you can go here and send it in.
Goose, can I pull these?
Oh, they make a weird noise though, see?
Yeah. Guys, Guys, there's something about racing tiny cars that makes me so happy.
Oh, me too, Bajo.
Me 3.
Me 4, especially if they have weapons. Let's play.
3, 2, 1, go!
Racing. Oh no! Oh no, I'm already gone. I'm already
Take down the Goose.
That was quick. Hovercraft should work on water. Darren's up Oh, guys, this game brings back so many memories. Delightfully stressful memories.
Me too, Goose. When I was a kid, there was a Micro Machines toy craze. And when the games came out, everyone loved them because you got to be the cars.
The latest game is called Micro Machines World Series, and it aims to take the couch play from the classic games online, so you can compete with the rest of the world.
There's a bunch of cars you can select, as well as modes to compete in, along with your standard racing. Our favourites were definitely Capture the Flag, which saw some exciting to and fros, and Bomb Delivery, where one team has to take a bomb to the enemy base and blow it up.
Here comes 1 minute remaining.
In fact, I think this Micro Machines game is more about battling than racing.
Oh, totally, Goose, especially as each car has its own unique abilities and weapons. The combat system is quite deep.
It really is, and it takes a lot of influence from other popular multiplayer team-based games. I love the variety in the cars too.
Oh, my favourite car is the standard tank. It hits hard and fast, and its ultimate ability is a devastating airstrike.
Calling in airstrike.
My favourite is U-Psycho. It's a futuristic car with lasers. Oh, I know, Darren. It has a hacking tool to disable enemies and a Tron-like wall which can slow enemies down. This Wombo combo came in handy for Capture the Flag and Bomb mode.
Yeah, it's all about combining abilities, isn't it?
I found the battles most enjoyable when there are only 2 or 3 cars fighting it out. Because in a few modes, like King of the Hill, when everyone's on the point, it gets way too messy for your abilities to matter. When it gets that chaotic, any kind of strategy just goes out the window.
Yeah, and racing back to the same spot again and again just to be blown up in seconds can get really tedious and disheartening.
There are 2 local multiplayer modes. Elimination, where the last one left on screen during the race is the victor, and a battle arena, where up to 4 players can shoot it out.
Elimination is classic party game stuff because the rounds are usually pretty short. But guys, I was really expecting more couch play modes.
It's such a shame too, because the rest of this game is so dependent on online play. And the big issue I found there is that hardly anyone is playing this game right now.
Well, it can take a while to build up an online community.
That is true, Darren, and I do hope they build the community because I love the idea of all these online systems, like having seasons and rankings and unlocking lots of things. But it's pointless if no one is playing.
Overall, there were some fun moments in Micro Machines World Series, and visually it does look awesome. But as it stands, I just don't know if it'll be popular enough to be a safe investment, so I'm giving it 2 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, it's too expensive for what it is. For a game to build an online community around it, kind of needs to be cheap enough that people will just give it a go. I'm giving it 1.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
It is a real shame they didn't put in a solid career mode because that would have kept me playing until the online picks up. So I'm also giving it 1.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Well, guys, the best way to end an epic sleepover is with an epic sleep.
Oh, yeah, guys, it's getting late. Darren, can we get the answer to your challenge, please?
Affirmative. At the start of the show, I asked you this. In Skylanders, which element does Dr. Neo-Cortex belong to? And the answer is... the tech element!
Oh, of course.
What?
Well, I'm definitely ready for bed. Next week on the show, we've got the amazing Aussie-made game, Yonder the Cloudcatcher Chronicles.
At first, the island kingdom may seem strange, full of magic.
That game looks pretty dreamy. Oh, and don't forget to watch Spawn Point Scoop on Monday on the ABC Me app.
Until next time, be nice, have fun, and keep gaming. Right out.
Good night, guys. Goose out.
Darren out.
Darren, why don't you give us a little lullaby? Help us get to sleep.
Oh, of course. Sleep, little noobs. Darren is the best. Play against him and you'll lose. 'Cause he really is the best.
Sonic.